This is how I capture a likeness in 20 minutes, and hats off to 70 years of matriarchy. Big shapes, always the big shapes. You might not be able to see too much until I start going in more. Looking at the boundaries, making sure that I've got enough room for some airspace around the hat. So I'm going to imagine the hat first of all as a continuous form, this brim. So mentally going behind the head as well. There. Looking at the volume of that top bit there, trying to look at these shapes, and then carrying on down from that line down there along the cheek, and this one here down there. So I'm imagining the head inside the hat, so it has to kind of fill credibly. There's the lower rim. Okay, so there's the bulk of hair. Now I'm looking at this edge, just tracking along. It comes out like that, trying to just see it as a abstract shape. In like that, and there, and then just imagining a plumb line to where the collar comes in there. So it's actually quite high, that collar. Then taking this back here, there's the bottom of the ear, roughly. Okay, and then now let's look at chin. So, excuse me. So if that's the top of the hat, then chin goes in. So there's the bottom, just a bit of, quite a lot of squinting. Ah, here we are, we've got the, I'm just looking for reference, things that I can line up. So her nose is to the left of the edge of that flower, there. So her chin will be here, I think. And just looking at this, so there's the ear, and actually there's quite a continuation there to mouth. So we've got the mouth located there, somewhere on that line. The top lip of the mouth, and then chin like this, I think. So if it looks wrong, it probably is. Try and remind myself. Okay, now I'm just massing in a very high level shadow there. So a bit like if you are familiar with the Loomis method, I'm just looking at this plane here. Right, now this, I think this edge here probably comes in a bit. There, and then there's hair here. And now I'm looking from the corner of the mouth, which will be somewhere like here, down to the intersection of the shoulder. And then trying to imagine if I continued this round here, that would go like that. There's the shadow. So I had that slightly wrong, I think. There. Okay. So just for reference, this is the sort of thing I'm aiming to produce in 20 minutes. And I'm working through the heads of states mugshots on the NATO website. So I've kind of run out of friends to draw. Not really, it's just the logistics of meeting up with friends. Okay, right, so next So now I'm going to look at rhythms. So I've got, I find there's quite a good one with eyebrows, like here you tend to get this nice here. And nose can be deceptive because it protrudes from the face. You could almost really better look at the, like the bridge of the nose where it kind of joins in with the skull. But there we have from this, and these are very good guidelines. So I try and think about the muzzle here and look at if the eyes are here. Then hopefully you can see. So there are the eyes, nose and mouth. Then you can look at the, for example, the angle from the edge of the eye to the edge of the mouth, and then this mass here of the cheek, there's a round mass there and a corresponding one on this side. So we've got cheekbones coming in. Well, they'll be a bit higher, the eye socket is there, cheekbones, and yeah, so I'm looking at this muzzle, there's the chin. People often have a crease here like that, and then there's a rhythm across here, so that goes smoothly across because of the symmetry, common symmetry of the face there. I hope this is making sense. Okay, so let's put in some nose. Right, now I'm looking at this shape here, this upper lip. That can be quite characteristic actually, the upper lip. We've got shadow under the mouth. I'm staying away from those teeth for a bit. Right, so there's a first map block in. I'll just take a bit of pink and let's put some of that in. Don't want to run out of time and not have done any pink. So I'll just get that. Sketchy pink stuff. Okay, and it gets probably less saturated, darker obviously. And there's a shape here which I might just get in out of quite a dark purple. Let's get that. That helps to get in the edge of the hair. Right. So now we've got a big bit of hat detail. Some sequins or flowers. Okay, so I'm nearly halfway through. No panic. She lied. Trying to keep not getting caught up in bits, details, trying to stay as general as possible. Very hard not to get sucked into detail, and trying to go through shapes. So I'm looking at that, ignore the rim and travel down through to there. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So here we go, ellipses, they're always quite difficult. This is an ellipse here. Quite good to look at the negative shapes if you get stuck with ellipses. So. I wouldn't normally dwell on this sort of thing, but it is a very big characteristic of the Queen, I suppose, her hat game. Okay, let's start putting in some lights. So now I'm just marking out some lights, and the lightest light is that pearl earring. Let's get that in, and I'll just map in those pearls. So given the time, this might be my last pass over this, so I'm just going to have to be ruthless. And I'm squinting now, so there's a white highlight, checking how that lines up with there. That looks okay. Bridge of the nose. And here, so a lot of these photos are in pretty flat light. It's quite, they're not kind of great portrait material from a reference point of view. So there's a bit of, and right, there's the chin. So here's the brooch. It doesn't really matter where the brooch is placed, but let's get it in for rough, and then put that pink in here too. I'm going to stay away from that edge for a little while because I want to make sure I cut it in the right place. I cut into the face at the right point. So I'm going quite vague. Watching the time. So I've got 8 minutes left. Right. I'm going to go in a little bit more detail on those eyebrows now and try and look at their position. She said heading for the nostrils. It's very much, well, I mean, you know, different people have different processes, but for me, I go very much on the, you know, whatever catches my eye, looking for any clues. There's a lot of bounce light here under her cheeks, and a bit there as well, and some here coming down from the hat as well. A lot of cool her hair. Right, so from a flattery point of view, not that I'm in the business of flattery, but it is worth keeping an eye on how strongly you put these creases in. Excuse me, that's actually quite brown. Right, now there's her bridge of her nose, and I'm looking at these angles, so the angle from there to there. I'm going to lightly pencil in the upper lid and make sure the other one is appropriately level. So that's my first bash, and she actually has a pretty handy little catch of light there, which will help me. Now this is really cool under here, and there is a little bit of shadow there, so let's go in that. I'm going to just very slightly mark those glasses. They're not going to be a big, again, talking of you know, looking at the end product. I think that's the edge of her hair there. Right, let's get that ear in. So nose, I'm going from the nose, I think the ear's there, just checking it against the pearl. So I'm just looking at that little shape in there, inside her ear, and then using that to head for that. And then if that's her eye, this arm of the glasses comes in like that. Okay, so cool eyebrows. I don't know what colour eyes she has. You can't really see anyway. Definitely not purple, but the main thing is they're dark. And now I'm going to start committing a little bit more to the shape of the eyelids. Right, and a bit more of that shadow so that I can define the hair against it. Oopsie. Okay. So we've got a bit of more pink bounce light under here. And there. Bright here. And let's go in between those pearls a bit. And right, now I'm going to look under the chin. We've got a bit of a there just into the top of the clavicle there. Right, and now I'm going to go in with a slightly darker. So this is the chocolate brown pencil, sorry. Committing a bit more. Trying to look again at abstract shapes. A few things like that shall hopefully show that they're the pearls. Right, now let's go for that. I'm going to try and commit here. I think it's there. Right, I've got a cream somewhere, so I'm going to just mass in the teeth like that. There. When I can find it, I'll use a dark red for this, but until then, I'm going to go for a brown. Need to order some more dark red. So really dodgy going in with smiles, as anyone who paints knows. So I'm looking from the nose to the edge of the teeth. So that is, I think that is where the teeth end there. And then very carefully committing to that fold there. It's such a fine line between a grimace and a smile. And it's very easy to get the wrong kind of angle. Okay, I'm going to go with that. Watching the time. Right, I've theoretically got just one more minute. So let's go for commitment. Here we go. Right, let's get that shadow in there. Bit of shadow there. Really careful with nose, not to give people bags, but try and model it accurately. And I'm looking, there's shadow here, quite a bit of shadow, a lot here, lots of squinting. I can't even see where my black is, so I'm not going to do that dark. And then finally, let's get that blue, and I'll show you how that, hopefully, just find the, there's my blue. Okay, so this is what I've found, is by going round the outside, not necessarily unbroken, but I can kind of revisit that edge looking very much at the reference, whether it's in life or not, and just kind of get another go, right? And particularly this edge here. So this, where this goes, has a huge effect on the apparent weight of the subject. So I'm going to go there like that and try and get the right level. Okay, and then let's give her a little bit more lipstick, because that's a bit of a shame, isn't it, not to have gone to all that trouble. Highlight on the lips there, and if I move it up, hopefully I can get it out of the glare so you can see. I'm going to look for my black pen. Here we go. I think that's a black. Yeah. Okay, so let's just go and get some more definition in. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a great weekend, whatever you're up to.